And we are back with the International Reporters Roundtable, and we'll go back to our panel where we will discuss the totalitarian threat of AI. Rebekah, this is in your wheelhouse. This is something you care a lot about, totalitarian threat coming here to the United States that you grew up with in the Soviet Union, that we see in China. Can you explain to us what the big risks are that you see? We already talked about, sucking up massive amounts of data and using that data. Where else could this go?
Well, I'd like to remind everyone that being the totalitarian state, China is already using AI for its program that is called One Person, One File, whereby they're collecting massive amounts of data on each individual who is in China. There are thousands of cameras all over China, so they're tracking everyone, including people who are visiting China, including, those business people, government people who are visiting China. What the Chinese government is calling these types of programs is sharp eye, right? And when it comes to the Chinese citizens, they are scoring them continuously for social, credibility, loyalty to the Chinese government. Well, what we don't want to happen, we don't want this type of program coming to the United States. But unfortunately, what we know today, that China has police stations in New York City and other cities in the United States. So what it tells me is that they are already using this capability to target us. But the major concern, of course, Cindy, is that the U.S. government will adopt this type of program. We already know that U.S. intelligence capabilities are just so exquisite. And it's basically, as a former intelligence officer, I'll tell you, it's like a vacuum cleaner, right? And it doesn't discriminate, at least initially, whether the target is a U.S. citizen or it's a foreigner who is visiting the United States. And we already know that there's some rogue agents within the FBI, and other agencies, who target U.S. citizens. Remember Carter Page, who was surveyed 24/7 in order that the deep state basically deployed this weaponized, system against a U.S. citizen. So it can be done. What we don't want to happen, with the administration that is right now in charge, we know that they designate moms as terrorists. They designate all kinds of other, people who critique the radicals, right? Those people who don't agree with the fact that American citizens needs to have freedoms and need to have rights. And so they're using those exquisite capabilities to target, whether it's IRS, whether it's other, DOJ, you name it. We don't want to become China or Russia. I've lived under the totalitarian regime, and I don't want it in America.